What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Lynn here with another, I guess this could be labeled a Between Gamers podcast. We are going to discuss the Fire Emblem Direct as well as more things that we've heard about the Nintendo Switch launching here in under 2 months. So, there's only two games that I saw in the Direct. It was very short. It was maybe like 15, 20 minutes long. And so we're going to discuss those as well as, like I said, some more things that we've, seen in reference to the Switch or heard in reference to the Switch. But first, we'll have everyone introduce themselves, and then we'll go from there. So we will start with the old Dirty 33. What up, Dirty?
What's up, people? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dirty. We about to do this.
And next we have Will from the Will of Gaming. What up, Will?
What up? Hi. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
All right. So, Will, you want to start us off with what we saw in the Fire Emblem Direct?
All right. We started with a new Fire Emblem Nintendo Direct, which was pretty short. It was like maybe about 15 minutes long. Basically, it started off with a remake to, I believe, the second Fire Emblem game that was ever released. It was like for the NES exclusively in Japan. The name escapes me. It's Fire Emblem something. But anyways, this new game is a remaster from the ground up. You can be playing it on the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL, and it has the same Fire Emblem gameplay as like the current Final Fire Emblem games. It has voice acting. It has everything that you need. Also, there's going to be two new amiibo that are coming out called Almi and some other girl. And anyways, the story seems pretty interesting. I don't know if it's really a purchase for me per se because I want the amiibos. I just don't want the game. Well, no, because it's just like, I like the amiibos. I like the figures. I want to collect all the amiibos, so.
Hey, Work Birdie.
Say what?
Work Birdie's watching. Hello, Work Birdie.
Hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. Welcome. You got mail. But that's pretty much what happened in the first section. Do you want me just to keep going throughout the whole entire thing, or do you just want to take it one step at a time?
If you want.
I guess I'll just name the whole thing because there wasn't really a lot. The second in Fire Emblem is that they announced that there's going to be a new Fire Emblem game coming for the Switch that isn't Fire Emblem Warriors, but it's a brand new Fire Emblem game, and this will be the first Fire Emblem that would be in consoles since the Wii. So this is really cool, but they said that they didn't show no gameplay. It's a working title currently, and that we should be expecting a release sometime in 2018. So that doesn't mean anything to me right now. I'm very curious to see what it looks like, and I hope we get to see more about it at E3 or at a Tokyo Game Show or something. That would be really interesting to see. But yeah, so there's that. Then there was, after that, they showed more about Fire Emblem Warriors, so they showed some gameplay, which looks really, really exciting. I feel like this was the perfect game to do a Warriors game based off of. Fire Emblem was just perfect. So basically, the person who carries the sword, spoiler alert, is Chrom from the 2012, what was it, Fire Emblem Awakening? Is that what the latest? I don't remember. It was the one before this new one. I'm not really a huge Fire Emblem fan, but then again, I never really tried it, so that's why I don't really know much about it. So I just know of the characters from Final Fantasy. That's it. Then they pretty much spent the majority of the rest of the entirety of the press conference, or I mean, of the Direct, with the new Fire Emblem Heroes game, which is a mobile game for your cell phone for Android and for iOS devices. So if you guys are interested in that, February 2nd is when it's going to come to the Google Store, and if you have an iPhone, they haven't stated a date, but they just said coming soon. So that means it could be coming before that, or it could be going after that. The mobile game does not look bad. I mean, it looks good. I mean, for what it is, if it's free, I'll be happy. But
They spent the majority of the time on the mobile game though, the Fire
yeah,
Emblem Hero.
yeah. And I
So
think they
like
also said
basically
you could use it.
the whole direct was basically Fire Emblem Heroes. They're pushing that mobile game more so than anything it seems.
Mhm. I feel like you know what? I feel like this is a waste of a direct. To be honest,
Hey
it
Zach,
was a waste. Hey, what's going on, Zach?
I mean I
Um,
don't see. Okay, just so let me let you guys know now. I'm not hating. All right, these are concerns.
oh, here we
I want
go.
to
The
know
hatred begins.
why they did a direct for Fire Emblem, basically, putting the mobile game out there rather than doing another Switch direct. Because there is a lot of things that they need to clear up in reference to that,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to telling us what Fire Emblem games are coming out on the Switch or coming out on the Nintendo systems themselves. So, I mean, I guess it's cool, because there are a lot of Fire Emblem fans out there. I enjoy Fire Emblem. I do. I mean, I played some of their games on the 3DS or whatnot, but to me, Fire Emblem Warriors is not my thing. Um, because they've had other games like that. What the one that has Zelda in it. So so they've had other games like that. Where you just running around and just battling mobs and mobs of characters or whatnot. But those types of games is just not for me. And I know, that like I said, there's a lot of people that enjoy those types of games, and that's fine. That is fine, but not for me. Now, the Fire Emblem Heroes, I can see playing. I don't know if there's going to be a fee, like they're going to try to make us purchase it or something. But there's going to be some in-app purchases.
Yep.
So I would more so play the Fire Emblem Heroes because that's more down my line. So, what about you guys?
I definitely agree. I think Nintendo should have came out more with more information about the Switch, with the online and stuff like that, and just to give us, what we're going to be looking forward to. Because yeah, we know it's supposed to be free. You know what I'm saying when the Switch launch, but how much is it going to cost? What are you going to what's the incentives you're going to give us for paying for the subscription? You know what I'm saying? And it's time for Nintendo like now to just come out. They next direct, it has to be about the online. It can't be about no other game that's in the future. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could add that in a direct talking about, the online. So, I mean, I agree with you. They should have held off on this one, but now I kind of see that since you said there is a mobile one, then it's
Yeah.
coming out soon. So that's why they did this direct to get people hyped up, get the mobile, and then as if they got one for the 3DS coming out, then yeah, and then for this one that's coming out, the Warrior that's coming out in August for the Switch, they just trying to hype it up because now Fire Emblem is becoming like a big following here in the States because at first it really wasn't. It was like a real small group of people that play Fire Emblem. From I remember from the GameCube. I think that's probably when it first came to the state was a GameCube, and I think it was two on the GameCube, and then you had one on the Wii, and then the 3DS and stuff like that. And I think the DS also had them, but now it seemed like it's a bigger following now. So
Mhm.
I guess Nintendo's trying to cash in, So, but yeah, the next direct got to be about this online service thing that they doing.
Or just updating us more on the Switch in general. Now, I'm assuming, I don't know, but I'm assuming the 2 million, quote unquote, consoles that they had available for pre-order. I'm assuming they've all been pre-ordered, considering, they're sold out here. I don't know about, other areas. So I'm assuming they're sold out worldwide. So that's 2 million Switches that have been sold. But yet and still, we're still in the dark on a lot of things that we should know about.
Yeah.
So that is what concerns me.
What really concerns me about this whole entire Switch situation is that it's just, when we hear something about it, it just seems so weird. I understand Nintendo is known for their weird, quirky things, but this is just so off the radar. Like, I was rewatching the presentation of the Nintendo Switch. I rewatched it again. No, actually, you know what? I actually enjoyed it the second time around because I went with the open mind, and then I looked, because I remember I was excited when I first saw the presentation. I saw it again. Nintendo is changing. It is. And though people don't see it right away, I think what the Switch is actually going to be is that it's literally a Nintendo 3DS effect, where they're going to try the gimmick, the 3D gimmick that nobody gives a crap about. Nobody's going to give a crap about these motion sensing things. They're not going to care. They're not going to care, because at the end of the day, all we just want is a game, no gimmicks, just a controller. If it has Rumble, then that's fine. Give me Rumble, but that's it. You don't have to. I don't want to be forced upon it. So but at the same time, I want to. Oh God, I can't even talk. I'm sorry. I'm very excited for the Switch, but I feel like I said, it's a Nintendo 3DS situation where it didn't catch on. It was too expensive. People weren't really feeling it. And then the Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D came out, and then some people actually got it then. And then it goes into, then there was other games like Kingdom Hearts or something like that. And then I think in 2013, Pokemon X and Y came out. Then it started selling like hotcakes, and then all the great games started to come out. Honestly, I feel like the Switch is going to probably get there faster than the 3DS is. It's going to get more popular than the 3DS is. Maybe after a year. I think E3 is going to be when we're going to find out if the Switch is actually going to be worthy of a purchase for early adopters or not. So depending on what they show. Now, this time I'm not expecting a lot. But a lot of people are freaking out over the Switch, and I understand. Do not get a Switch if none of the launch title games for the next 4 months, if any of the games that come out for the next 4 months don't interest you. Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I understand that if you already had a Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U, it's only going to have a battle mode. It has no new stages it has no new stages except for battle mode. That's the only difference. To me, that's DLC. That's all it is. It's DLC that could be in the Wii version. This is what we should have gotten. And unless if they do something where they can drop the price for the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I would get that. But at this point, I'm not interested in that. Right now, Breath of the Wild, we don't know how long Breath of the Wild is. It could take you maybe 3 days to beat it. It could take you a week. It could take you a month. It could take you 6 months. I mean, really, that game alone will really, I think it will hold your time for a while. Then after that, then April will be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Then after that will probably be ARMS. Then after that will be Splatoon. And then when Splatoon gets here, we have E3. And then so E3 will cover, what game is going to come out in July, August, September, October. And then we'll probably get a release date for Mario. Now we know that Fire Emblem Heroes is coming out this year as well. So I feel like Nintendo has some decent games. We need to know more about this console, though. They are very quiet, and I understand that they're probably going to let us know maybe next month. They'll probably tell us all the information that we need to know. But to not have basic service like Netflix and things like that, though it's not a big deal to me. I don't care for
I don't care for that.
I don't care. But there are people that do.
And, yeah, but wait.
I want to say
There
I
are
heard
several other consoles that we have though that has that streaming capability.
Yeah.
The main thing I'm worried about with the Switch is playing games and how this online is going to work in reference to, getting in parties with your friends, finding people that enjoy the games that you're looking to play, and finding people to play with you on those said games if your friends don't have them or aren't interested. How is all of this going to work? Hey, Miss K.
Miss K.
So yeah, those are some things that I have questions and issues with. And these are, again, things that should have been discussed in either the presentation or the treehouse. They filed up when it come to that in both aspects, because they had not once but two chances back to back to give us plenty more information about the Switch, and they failed to do so.
They just want to space out the information, though. They want to try to keep people hyped, but they ruined it.
If you're trying to sell something to the consumer, I understand you want to convey to us what this is because you failed to do that with the Wii U. But at the same time, we need to know features as well. You don't have to release specs. You don't have to get all into the technicalities of it, but give us something. They gave us nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. They didn't give us anything. I mean, the only thing that they did is that they did answer a few questions. Very few, not a lot. But they gave us, they basically said that third-party support is on board. They gave us the battery time. They told us what memory card it uses. They told us that it does use cartridges. They said that loading is faster. They said that that it uses the USB Type-C.
On the cartridges. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a question I would like to know. I honestly don't think
that's an important thing.
Yeah, and then but they also at the treehouse they showed the UI, they showed what the cartridges look like.
Not really, Will.
Well,
not really.
Well, the UI is a pretty plain. It's a plain thing. It looks like a PS4, but with a white background instead of.
But they didn't even go into details in reference to that, though.
That is true, but if you were to do a steal shot, you could literally find everything right there. It shows you what the store is. I wish they could have showed us what the eShop is gonna look like. I would like to know if there was actually an achievement system that they have in here. I don't know if that's rumor or true, but I don't think that there is. What else? I really want to know how the online service is gonna work. Why are you gonna throw a bomb saying that we gotta pay for online, but you don't tell us what we're paying for? I understand that it's going to be free for 6 months maybe, but why? Because there's going to be people that are not going to get the Switch day one. They're not going to get it in the first 3 months. They might get it when you have to start paying for it. Mm-hmm. And so people are not going to even know what they're paying for. So Nintendo needs to talk. They need to talk now about it. So that way that we could justify, and I feel like we need to justify the purchase. I'm still excited for the Switch regardless. I don't play on multiplayer.
Okay,
but before we started this podcast, Lynn Dirty shared a video with Lynn that Lynn shared with me, where it was a guy who's an indie developer. And,
okay, wait a minute, Will. Shout out to Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Jacob's in the chat. I don't know if you want me to tell your whole name, so I'm going to just say hi, Jacob.
Hi, Jacob. Woo, Jacob.
Okay, go ahead, Will.
Well, we were watching this video, and it was talking about the joy. It was a guy from, what was it called? Monochrome? What was the name of the game? Was it Monochrome?
Monocross or something. It's an indie game.
So it's an indie game. So it's an indie game that was originally supposed to be coming out for the Wii U, but instead it's coming out on the Switch now. And so he's actually planning on using the HD Rumble in the game, which is pretty cool. So he was basically stating that there was a few facts that we got wrong. That everything that's going to be done through Nintendo is through the cell phone, which I find is so weird. I don't understand.
I think that is stupid.
I can Skype on my phone.
The reason why I feel this way is because, again, they never clarified otherwise. So, I'm sure it makes sense to them.
Yeah.
And, somebody had mentioned, I don't remember who, I don't know if it was you, Dirty, or somebody else. Somebody had mentioned that maybe is due to the parental features, the parental features of the Switch. In this way, people would not be able, I mean, the kids wouldn't be able to get in a party chat with people they don't know and, fussing, cussing or whatever, because the parent would have to set it up on their phone, and then they can then talk to people, talk to their friends or whatnot through the app on the phone, rather than you hitting a button and boom, you're chatting with folks. That kind of makes sense, but at the same time, Nintendo still has not been, they've been mum's the word on everything. Miss K said that she said, I think the reason we really want to know about chat features is because we are really friends and want to talk with each other while playing games. Plus, they're charging the consumers, which, yeah,
that's true.
If you want to charge us for a service, we need to know why you're charging us and what we're getting for however much amount of money that you're charging us for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's, like I was telling Lynn, I believe that's how the app is going to go. I mean, just by me hearing that it's going to be a app on the phone, and then there's going to be an app on the system. Now, I got the idea because I seen the parental guiding for the Switch, and they were just going by how, as a parent, you can damn near do everything to this console, without your child knowing. Limit they playing time a day, and you can cut off voice chat so they won't be in there. It's the type of games that they play. You can monitor what type of games they've been playing
and how long they've been playing them.
Yeah, how long they've been playing, like what's their favorite game and all. So what I got from that was, okay, there's going to be an app on my phone. The same app is going to be on the console. So when I turn my console on and I see you guys on there, and I'm like, okay, let's play some Splatoon. So what I'm going to do is grab my phone that's next to me, hit the app, and invite Will, Lynn, Miss K, and whoever. You know what I'm saying? And y'all going to get a notification on y'all TV, not go through your app, but I think that it's going to go to your system, pop up on your screen that Dirty want to be in a party chat, and then you just accept from there instead of going to your phone. I think going to your phone is to
set it up.
People.
It's too much, yeah.
To send invites out. This is what I'm thinking. I'm not sure, but that's the only way I can see for me to have the app on my phone and the app on the system.
Well, see, in that case, that makes sense.
And that
literally makes sense, because kids wouldn't normally have total access over their parents' phones. Okay, like parents normally keep their phones locked. Kids generally don't have the passcodes, so you having to unlock your phone, go on the app, set up a party or whatnot. And Miss K said, yeah, that makes sense, even if it is set up like that. Okay, so yeah, it does make sense, Dirty. Because like I said, kids generally don't have full access to their parents' phones. So if we're only using the phone to set up events, to request, to be in chat with each other or whatnot, and that is like to the extent of the chat, section. And then, like you said, it pulls up on the Switch. We can accept it that way. And we don't know exactly how it's going to work, though, because there's no, like, okay, where's the sound going to come from? Is it going to come out of your TV? So is this going to, you know what I mean? Like, are we going to have, because I'm sure there's like a 3.5 millimeter headset jack, I think. That's what I saw in the little commercial.
There's in the Switch itself, but if you look at the Pro controller, that doesn't have one. So
then how does it work? Like, are we going to have like...
You're going to have your phone in your pocket while you play. That's what it seems like. But the thing is what I don't understand.
Us talking through the phone, though? No.
It makes no sense.
Here's another thing, too. Somebody said...
Dirty? Hey, Miss K said, so how would you chat and talk with your friends within the game?
From what I'm thinking is, instead of our consoles just having a regular setup like the PlayStation and Xbox, where we just do it through the console, we can still chat through the console. It's just in order for me to invite you to a private chat, party chat, or whatever, or game, and well, I don't know about game advice, but the voice chat, I would have to do it through the phone. Now I'm thinking you would get that notification on your TV, like, oh, okay, Dirty want to chat. You accept it, bam, there we go, because we got headsets on. The only thing I'm doing is just doing it through the app instead of the console like normally.
But that
And
doesn't.
and
Again,
somebody, I'm trying to remember, was it a tweet or someone was saying that they're making headsets for the Switch, which is Bluetooth, because it's Bluetooth in the Switch. So you really don't need a the 3.5 millimeter head jack set unless you want to, unless you want to go. But if they doing wireless now, then yeah, we can still chat because we got wireless, so we don't need that jack on the Pro controller.
I just figured that the reason why they're doing it on the cell phone is because you're not guaranteed access to the internet like 24/7 when you're on the go. And let's say that you're like at an airport or something like that, instead of to conserve battery power, and most likely you're going to have headphones when you're on your phone. Like let's say you're at an airport or something, you're listening to music or something, you could just open up the app, talk to your friends, and do a quick little match on Splatoon or Mario Kart or something like that. And then I feel like that's beneficial, and I guess it's a way to save the console's power. And at the same time, because instead of, I don't know why they didn't build a jack into the Pro controller, but the reason why I believe it's not going to come from the console or from the TV itself is because the Pro controller does not have a jack. So how are you going to talk to people? It's going to be through your phone. And so when your system is docked and everything, and this is the thing that bothers me
I
the
don't like
most.
that.
Why
I don't
didn't?
like
But
that at all.
this is my problem. Why didn't they focus on the Nintendo, on the chat aspect? Why did they feel the need to make a whole entire video about parental controls? That made no sense. That's so awkward. Like, why would they put that in there? Like, that just felt like that didn't belong in what happened. Like, I'm just like, okay, you mentioned that we got to pay for online, but you show an app on the phone, but then you're not telling us about the online features itself. You're telling us about parental controls. Why do we care about parental controls? I mean, the video was cute, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it made no sense why they felt the need to show parental controls versus all this other stuff. Like, if they could show us parental controls, why couldn't they show us anything else? Why couldn't they show us how voice chat worked? At least that. If we could at least see what that worked like, or what their idea is. I guess what they're working on is that they're trying to find a way to explain it so we don't get so upset. But either way, we're going to be upset because we already
Yeah.
know we got to use our phone to talk to people. And for what reason do I have to pay a $50 service for that? If
Exactly.
if the only thing, why do I need to spend like $50 a year for a service that I could use Skype to talk to my friends to play
Either
games?
that or you can use the app Discord.
You can
But
use Discord. You can use
same time,
anything.
at the same time too, irregardless, there are still people out here that do not own smartphones. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of things. Number one. Number two, apparently, of course, if you're going to have to use your phone to connect to the app to be able to chat with your friends, then you're using your cellular data. So some people don't have unlimited data, and some
Mhm.
people who have unlimited data, it gets capped after a certain amount that you use. So not only do we have to pay a fee in order to play online now, we're also going to have to use up our data in order to chat with our friends. See, so it seems a little too cumbersome. It's more cumbersome than it needs to be. It could have
Yeah.
been, in my opinion, like I said, and I mentioned this before, if the PlayStation Vita can actually do party chats, can actually do in-game chat. Why can't the Switch?
Because
But
Nintendo doesn't want. To me, it seems like Nintendo doesn't want voice chat because they're too concerned with the children. That's what they're concerned about. They
But
not.
they need to grow up. Seriously, who is going to pay? Who's going to buy? Okay, granted, some people will, but
then parents don't buy
I
the
would not be
online
purchasing
service.
a $300 tablet for my child. That's just how it is. I would not be doing that. Definitely not.
No, and if you don't want your child to be like talking to stranger people online, then don't buy the online service.
Exactly.
There you go. Then they can't talk to any strangers online. They can't even play online. They'll just play the single player games. This is why I don't understand why there's a censorship in everything. Or at least if you're gonna do something that's gonna be like a censorship or something, make it age restricted rooms and stuff like that. So you make sure that when your child creates the account, you put in the year and you set it up, and that the only people he can get is in his age. Yeah, and that the only people he can add is in his age. That's it. That's all. I mean, that's the fix. I mean, or you could just make sure that that the phone app tells you, if you have to use a phone app, that the phone app tells you who he's talking to, what their age is, and stuff like that. So that way you know, oh no. Then you can cut the chat from your phone if it feels like whatever. But at the same time, I understand that takes a lot of programming. That's very unrealistic. But at the same time, why can't you just put like voice chat, at least private chat, at least that, you know?
Exactly.
Private chat would have been good. Because then Nintendo can't blame nobody can blame Nintendo for what happens in a private chat.
Miss K said, nah, I'm not going to buy the subscription service if it's some BS. But at the same time, Miss K, it's almost as if you have to buy the subscription because that is your means to play online with your friends.
And that's annoying. Because
so that means to be able to play, all of us are going to have a subscription. Now, granted, I hope their subscription is not going to be extremely like over the top, expensive, and we still don't know what we are paying for.
I expect it to be expensive because of the controllers. The accessories are really expensive.
What does that have to do with online, though? That has nothing, in my opinion, to do with an online.
It doesn't. But the way that Nintendo is pricing everything, because they're putting all this unnecessary stuff in it. Gamers just want a console that just plays games. They don't want gimmicks. They're trying to sell to the casual audience again.
What do you feel is unnecessary?
I feel like the HD Rumble was unnecessary.
Why?
Because of the fact that it's going to be a feature that nobody's going to use. Nobody cares.
But we don't know the types of games that are coming out in the near future that's going to utilize that.
But look, okay, we could go back to Nintendo's history with the Wiimote. Okay, the Wiimote was basically forced, and because that was forced on everybody, because that was the only controller available at that time. And if you didn't like the motion controllers, or if it felt uncomfortable to you, you were stuck with it. So all game people had to develop games based on that feature of motion controls. With the Switch, it has every single button configuration of all Nintendo consoles, which is great. But at the same time, it's a gimmick. And at the gimmick that nobody's going to use. How many people really cared about the Wii balance board? They played it for like 1 to 3 times, and they were done. That was it. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about the Wii Motion Plus.
I still use it.
That's true. You also got a thing too. Remember when the PlayStation 3 came out and Sony took out that Rumble feature out of the Axis, and people were like, "We want that back in." And what they do, they made another controller where you can go out, buy another controller that had the Rumble feature and the gyroscope in it. So the fans was asking for Rumble. They like, what the hell happened to the Rumble?
I know that it sounds weird. Okay, but look, we have Rumble already in our controllers, and they could have just used a simple analog. They could use the simple analog Rumble feature. This HD rumble is what's making the console so expensive, and it's making the controllers. Do you know how weird it is? It already, look, you can buy a PlayStation 4, you can buy an Xbox One for cheaper than the Switch, and it comes with a game. With the Switch, you're spending $300. You're spending $300 on the console. Then
but Will, there are a lot of things you can get that are cheaper than the Switch, you know, because like I said, there's a new NVIDIA Shield TV that just came out. You can purchase that for $200, and it has the TV, it has the controller, and it has the remote control and a game controller, the improved game controller.
Yeah.
So, you know, still trying to justify the price of the Switch. I don't know. I really don't see this particular item costing $300.
But the thing is, it's the HD rumble. It's the HD rumble is why it costs so much. It has a camera built into it. It has an IR camera built into it. It has the HD rumble. It has all that stuff. But at the same time, it's a cool feature. Yeah, probably. I mean, it's probably something that, look, you really can't sell a feature that people can't experience, which is why VR is going to be very hard to sell to people because they can't experience VR. This is why I'm not interested in VR, because I can't play it. They don't advertise it in stores. They're never available. And then I'm not going to risk spending $500 to buy a freaking headset, and then I don't even like it, or I get motion sickness. With this is the same thing, except that it's not really needed. It's not going to hinder your game. In a way, it could also enhance it. And, you know, like, so you could play like Zelda, and then you shoot a bow and arrow, and then it actually feels like you're holding a string or whatever. You know, that's cool. But at the same time, it's unneeded. I just don't see people being like, oh, yeah, I remember, you know, it's unneeded, but I think it's future-proof. I think it's just for future-proof purposes. But
I understand what you're saying, Will. Yeah. But at the end of it, I was looking for the Switch to be at 300. I was the one going to be 300. I said if it come out to 250, that's awesome. But I was looking at 300 because mainly those were just rumors. Those were just people that, oh yeah, it's going to come out to 249, Nintendo, they make their consoles cheap. It's gonna be 240. That's what we was getting hyped up on, was just rumors. Mm-hmm. We just sit back and be like, nah, let's just wait to see what Nintendo say, because everybody keeps saying 240. Because everybody kept saying 249, 249.
Yeah, everybody said 249. Yeah,
like it's gonna be more, because you got to look at it. We paid $350 for the Wii U. Mm-hmm. Other people that didn't get it with the game paid $300. Why would this console that's doing more than the Wii U, more powerful than the Wii U, cost less than the Wii U? That was my whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this system is going to be $300. I don't think Nintendo, if it come with a game, they probably put it back at $350. But yeah, I need to be around $300. I say if it's $250, then man. All hail Nintendo.
Miss K made a comment. She said, well, they better bring it with the correct infrastructure. Isn't DNA the ones creating the online chat features, etc.?
Yeah, which is a mobile company.
Yeah, DNA is helping, but it's up to Nintendo to tell them, like, nah, we don't want to go with that. We want to make an app for the phone. Now they got to make an app for the phone because Nintendo is paying them.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There's just still there's still so many unanswered questions. I mean, I think, to be honest with you, Will, I think the HD Rumble is a good idea. When I saw those ladies playing Just Dance,
what happened?
To me,
Did I go off?
No.
I don't know.
Did you hear me say anything?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying that I think the HD Rumble is a good idea, because when I saw those ladies playing Just Dance, it looked natural. You didn't have that big, Wiimote in your hand, that bulky Wiimote. You don't have a sensor bar that you have to stand, just so. so it'll register what you're doing. You can move to your heart's content, and it'll still register your movements, and you can, get graded or whatever as they do on the game. I think that's an awesome idea because, again, to me, it's more fluid. You can,
Yeah.
and I think that is an awesome. That's awesome. A lot of us, we're sitting here and we're just going by what we've seen. We have not experienced this. Majority of us have not. So we have to have some reservations on, I guess, what we have our concerns on, because we have not experienced it. So we can't say, oh my God, the HD Rumble is freaking awesome. We can't say any of that, because we have not experienced it. The way I've heard several people who have experienced the Switch discuss the HD Rumble, no one that I've seen have had anything negative to say about it. And people feel it's an enhancement. Miss K said HD Rumble seems like it enhanced the gameplay experience. It seems pretty accurate according to what was shown. Yeah, that's basically what I was just saying. And I think that's that's awesome. I'm very grateful that they did away with the censor bar as well. So, it seems that they are on the right track. But again, there are so many things that we have no idea about. And that is the issue. I'm glad that they sold out, of all of their pre-orders. But at the same time, we're still in the dark and, in like too many different areas.
Mm-hmm. So. Oh, speaking of pre-orders, have you been hearing the horror stories that have been happening lately?
About?
Pre-orders have been getting canceled or deleted from people from GameStop and Best Buy.
Stop playing.
I'm not playing. No, it's true.
No, well, so somebody gonna give me a Switch if mine get deleted, because I came up there when the store opened. I got the time stamped on mine.
No, I know, but no. What I mean by this is that they said that they are going to whatchamacallit, they are that, so I guess people who like pre-ordered later, they allowed the pre-orders to go longer than they should have, and then they just started cutting off the later orders. So if you were one of the first people to pre-order, then I think you're good.
Well, I pre-ordered mine at 1:00 in the morning. All of you guys were witnessing.
I was witnessing. Yes, I was witnessing. I was right there after you. And my pre-order is still on Best Buy, so I'm good. So just double check. All of you guys who pre-ordered the Switch out there, be sure.
Will still here?
Yeah, I think he went out because he was sounding like a robot.
It's that dumb Comcast. Y'all better get rid of that Comcast. So now he got me all worried.
Nah, I'm if we ain't heard nothing by now, then you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because you would think that if they were to cancel your pre-order, that you would get a notification.
Yeah. You have to get some type of notification. They have to call you or something. Especially GameStop, they have to call you.
Nope, it's still there. Okay, well, Will, we can't hear you if you're still talking, and if you can hear us. But so Dirty, anything else you want to say in reference to this whole Switch fiasco, or are you interested in any of the Fire Emblem games that we discussed earlier?
If one comes to the 3DS, yeah, I definitely get it. The Warrior, maybe, but if it's the traditional that's coming out in 2018, then I can wait to 2018 to pick up the traditional Fire Emblem game.
And what about the Switch itself? Is there anything you would like to discuss? Maybe some features you've heard about, or
No, not too much. Just just basically what we said early in the podcast. We want more questions with the chat, with the online service and the subscription, and too, when you mentioned Just Dance, did the girls, did you notice that they had the Joy Cons in their hands or not?
Yep. Yep. They both had a Joy-Con in their hand.
Okay, I got it now. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so they had one in their hand, right?
One.
Oh, the others, I get. I'm thinking I'm onto something. I think this might be it. The other Joy-Con has that motion camera on it. Remember when the guy was saying it can reach your hand movements, rock, paper, scissors, and all that crap?
Yeah.
I'm thinking for that game to pick up your moves to the game, like you would have to sit that Joy-Con down, maybe like on the table or in front of the TV, so it can pick up your movement so that you're matching what's popping up on the screen. So it's basically like a Connect, because he said it's like a Connect 2.0. That sensor in it that reads the hand signs. So basically it's picking up what you're doing. So that is the camera for the game. Because they only had one Joy-Con in a hand, and that Joy-Con doesn't have the camera in it. The camera is only in one of them. I don't know if it's the left or the right, but it's only in one of them. And if they only had one in their hand each, then both of them had they say they right Joy-Con sitting right in front of them as they was dancing.
Miss K said, "Yep, Dirty, you own to something."
Thank you, Miss K.
It
I think that might be it.
might be.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, you have a small Connect in your controller that can pick up your movement, that can see you. That's pretty cool.
So Will thinks they're gimmicky. I think it's an awesome idea. I really do. Will, we still can't hear you. You might want to drop out and come back.
Okay.
Maybe that'll help. But
A lot of people say that, Nintendo is gimmicky, sometimes they are, but
they've always been innovative, though. I
Nintendo
mean,
been
irregardless, they've always been like really, really. They've always put a lot of, well, I guess they put a lot of thought in what they do. Like the Wii was selling like hotcakes when it came out. It was new, and I guess the what they're doing with the Switch, that's considered new too, because no one else has done this.
right.
Not to this level is what I'm saying. So Ms. K said the Joy Cons are an integral part of the Switch, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, and the fact that it can, one of the Joy Cons can actually read your amiibo too. That is cool. They did not leave that out, so that in itself, that opens up, many doors as well to, like, for instance, if they're going to bring Smash back, you can still scan in your amiibos and play, play with the amiibos or whatnot. So, yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, in the grand scheme of things, if we sit back and really think about everything that these Joy-Cons are capable of, then you can somewhat justify the cost of them.
yeah, because just like you said, only one of them scans the amiibo. So maybe the ones that the women were holding is the one that scans the amiibo. The other one is the camera at the bottom. So that's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, when you think about it, I tell a lot of people why I like Nintendo is because Nintendo is innovative. You know, who wants another console on the market that does the same thing that the other two do on the market?
Mm-hmm.
First, what makes you going to go out and buy a Nintendo, even if they was doing the exact same thing with power and everything? What makes you go and buy a Nintendo over the Xbox or the PlayStation 4? At the end of the day, The people that hate Nintendo, what would make you go out and buy a Nintendo system if the Switch was damn near on par with the Scorpion and we knew it? Would you say, you know what? I'm about to trade in my PlayStation 4 and get a Switch? No, they wouldn't. So if you hate Nintendo, why do you complain when you know you're not going to buy the console? And if Nintendo did the exact same thing as the other two, being the exact same console, you still wouldn't buy it because it's Nintendo. So that's why I don't get why people complain about Nintendo being kiddie or Nintendo just different. Why don't they compete? Nintendo
good.
And that's why I say Nintendo is different, because the other two, they do the exact same thing. It doesn't matter which console you get. They play the exact same games, except for first party games. That's it. They do the exact same thing.
Miss K said, Emma F is complaining about the Switch, never intended on buying it anyway. So I say put the shut to the up.
Yeah, I say the same thing, because I'm like, if Nintendo was never innovative, our controllers would. Who knows how the controllers would be if it wasn't for Nintendo being innovative from the NES all the way to now.
Yeah, you see what PlayStation did with the Move, right?
Everything, every button on the controller that you have or your personal choice of console came from Nintendo. From the buttons on the top, the layout 4 buttons in the middle, the analog sticks, the rumble, the gyro, the motion. Nintendo did it all with each console. And guess who picked it up? Sony. Then came Microsoft back in 2009. So they all copied from Nintendo because Nintendo kept being innovative. The D-pad, that came from Nintendo. But people complain that Nintendo is gimmicky and always try to come up with new ideas. But if they didn't, then what kind of controller would we have right now?
Well, I've just never understood why people hate on Nintendo so much. I don't
because Nintendo is not their game of choice. If it was Sony being innovative like this, you hear Sony fans praising Sony of how innovative they are, how they just keeping game technology just refresh every generation. But since it's Nintendo and a lot of people like to hate on Nintendo or want to call them kiddie, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, how can you call the Switch? Well, let's not say the Switch. Let's go from the NES to the Wii, to the original Wii. How can you call any one of those consoles kiddie when they had third-party games? They had mature M-rated games. How can you call it a kiddie system? You can't change Nintendo of what they do or the type of games that they come out. You don't hear people complaining about Walt Disney, and they go to Walt Disney probably every other year, and they grown now. You don't hear them saying, well, I grew up with y'all, but y'all didn't grow up with me. I don't want to see Mickey no more. No, you excited as a motherfucker to see Mickey when you walk through the gates, and you a grown-ass man.
Hell, I would be. I sure enough would. Ain't no shame in it. I sure enough would.
Right, so why would you want Nintendo to change?
I hear you, Will.
This is the type of games they have.
See,
Miss K said gamers don't hate; they respect one another's choices and keep it pushing. Miss K, I'm with you 100% on that.
100%.
Okay. I'm trying to word this right. Let's just say us in our little neck of the woods here. I'm not just saying just us. I mean us here. You know, that in the times that we've been doing these podcasts and things, we have never degraded anyone on their choice of gaming preferences. You could play card games for all we care. You still gaming.
Yep.
You can play mobile games. You can play PC games, console games, handheld games. It don't matter. You still gaming. You still a gamer. Now, for people down and folks on their preference of system or whatever the case may be, that's not cool. That is not what gamers do. Gamers play their games. Gamers have fun with their games. And if you have any issues, you take it to the sticks. That's what you do. That is the real competitive play.
Mm-hmm.
People don't do that anymore. They don't. People want to take it to another level. People want to dig in and find personal information on folks and put people on blast and for what? For what? I don't get it. Honestly, don't get it. If they spend more time playing their games, they would have less time to get involved in this that some of them have been getting involved in. And to me, that is not a definition of a gamer. Miss K said, us as in real friends, we really respect one another. And that's what sets us apart. Miss K, you are right. Yeah. You are totally right. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about that as well.
I totally agree with Miss K. I don't fault anybody that or make fun of them or harass them or what console they choose to play on. We are all gamers at the end of the day, and that's what we're supposed to be enjoying is games. You know what I'm saying? I've been gaming since the Atari 2600, so I done played on a lot of different consoles, and I never hated my friend for buying this console over that console. If you got that console and I don't got it, guess what? I can't wait till the weekend so I can come over your house and I can check out the games you got on that console that I don't have as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm an adult, I can get as many consoles as I want now, and I own them all. But as a kid, if you told me you had, like my friend, I had the Super NES. I had the NES and Super NES. He had the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. He had the best of both worlds. Now, I couldn't wait to come over his house to play the Genesis to see what was on that system. I didn't hate the man because he had a Genesis. Shit, I was happy because I know I'm going to go over there and play some Genesis games. But like Miss K said, true friends, you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We game. You know what I'm saying? We're not sticking out people, personal information and backstabbing and taking jabs and all that. Man, we're going to take jabs at each other. It's going to be in arms on the Switch.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's all I want to do. I just want to play games, man. I don't got time to keep going back and forth with specs and 4K and your console can't do 4K. And I don't care. You just went and spent $400 on a up-to-date console you already got, and probably another $800 to $1,000 for a 4K TV.
Mm-hmm.
You the one broke now. I'm not.
Miss K said exactly, Dirty.
And then if you want VR, you got to go spend another $400-500. Sorry, I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. That's why I don't respect these new consoles that's out now, because there's nothing wrong with the original ones that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
I
still play just as fine as it did the release date that I got it.
Right, and I don't understand why they need premiums on the shelves. Now, I'm telling y'all right now, if Nintendo would have pulled this with the Wii U, the whole YouTube community would have been up in arms. Why do Nintendo got 2-3 consoles of the same Wii U on shelves? They already confusing people. I'm telling you, if Nintendo had did this, the whole gaming community would have been up in arms.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I feel like just the gaming environment in general, not all of it, but just the small portion of like people who hate and stuff, it's become very political for no reason. Like, why does video games have to be political, or like you have to pledge your allegiance to one console or one thing?
Well, we don't.
And we don't. And the thing is that, look, there's just people that have different tastes. Now, I don't discriminate people who play a certain game. I don't like
Wait,
it when
wait,
people shove a game in my
Zach made a
face.
comment. Zach said exactly dirty, and then Zach said PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, Xbox One all work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. Like all these
Okay.
consoles, they have the seal of approval. Like there's Nintendos that still work from the 80s. I mean, you know, but as far as we go in terms of like this game about the gaming community and it being like, you know, hateful and stuff, I mean, personally, I just kind of avoid all that drama and just stick with my friends, with you guys and stuff. Like you guys are the only people I game with. So when it comes to that, it doesn't matter. I mean, sometimes we may not all like the same game or something like that. Maybe, you know, I'm not feeling a certain game that you guys are feeling. I'm just like, that's not for me. You know, but there's nothing wrong with saying that, you know? There's nothing wrong with saying that either because, you know, you guys may not be into like Kingdom Hearts or something, or I may not be into
Kingdom Hearts
Overwatch.
is amazing.
Yeah, but there's some people out there that don't like it. Like, you know, okay, like Jason, he's not a fan of Zelda. It blows a lot of people's minds whenever he says it, and he gets so much hate for it.
I'm sorry,
not
but
everybody likes Zelda.
I'm just Zelda fan. I like Zelda, but I'm not Gaga drop dead. Oh my God, I gotta get the game.
Yeah, me. That's me. I'm the guy. I gotta get the game. See,
and that's
fine though. It's fine.
No, I don't have any ill will feelings behind that. I don't care actually. You know, because I care the fact that this is something that you enjoy playing, and I know you're going to be live streaming it, and I know you're going to have fun playing it. That is what matters, is that you have fun playing the games that you enjoy playing.
Yeah.
That is the main concept of this whole thing. You know, play your games, have fun playing them, play with your friends, and you know, I'm the same way. Generally, if I'm playing games and I'm playing with you guys, that's cool. I don't even have mic on or anything unless I'm playing with people that I know.
Same here.
I don't have time for it. I don't.
Like I feel like the multiplayer like aspect of games has been ruined for me. Like it's like on 360, it started off really cool. Then people got spoiled by online multiplayer games, and then they just ruined it for me. It just became a constant insult fest and all this other stuff. I'm like, so I don't even touch multiplayer unless if it's private or whatever. Some of my favorite games that I like to play on multiplayer are on a Nintendo console, which is why I have high hopes for the Switch, because I want the Nintendo to have a better online infrastructure where it's not disconnecting. I mean, whenever we play Mario Kart, we never really had any problems. But like Smash Brothers, that's a problem, and they need to fix that. But in terms of like other games like Splatoon, I don't remember really having much problems with that. I'm pretty sure that there were still people that did, but I didn't have any problems with it. But you know, I feel like Nintendo has, surprisingly, in my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, I believe that they have the most competitive games, the most fun games, the most easy to pick up games. And you know what? Look, I know that I said that stuff earlier about the HD Rumble features and things like that being like, you know what? Like, yeah, you're right. Nintendo's innovative, very innovative. What I was speaking in terms, I'm glad that they did the HD Rumble. I am, and I know it sounded like I wasn't all for it, but I'm just saying that that's the reason why the price was up and that I was very unhappy, because I want to get a Pro controller, but that's just way too much money for me to drop on a controller right now. So I have to wait till I get like coupons or something, and then I have to like get it at that point. But see, I want Nintendo to succeed, and I feel like it's going to be the 3DS effect. Like, nobody's going to get it because the launch titles are weak, though you're getting a Zelda game. And I understand that not everybody likes Zelda, so, you know, hold off. Hold off until Mario or Pokemon or Fire Emblem, whatever is your cup of tea. Wait till that comes out, and then you get the console when you can. I mean, it's not like necessarily you have to get it. I just learned to stop caring. There were people, like, beforehand, I was always worried about the Wii U. I'm like, oh, not enough people are going to get it. Not enough people are going to get it, and it's going to fail. It's going to fail, and I wasted my money. And I understand that people get scared that way because they want people to buy it. They want people to like it. They want people to do all that stuff and get the best, you know, get the console so that way. Because we all desperately, even the haters, want Nintendo to succeed. I know it.
Well, Nintendo acknowledged their faults with the Wii U, and they're trying to rectify that now, but there's still more unanswered questions than answered questions at this point. And I understand they're trying to trickle the information out, but still, you still leading folks to speculate. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's their way of keeping hype up about the Switch and getting more people informed about it. You know, maybe that is their whole angle. I don't know. But, you know, at the same time, there's still, like I said, so much that we don't know. And until it comes from Nintendo, all it is speculation.
Yeah, they're trying to get the Switch in many people's hands before the Switch even comes out, this is a great aggressive approach, what I like. They already have a commercial for it, at least in the UK or in Germany or one of those countries. And it's a really good commercial. It really states the controller, and it is not you don't see kids in that commercial. The thing that people are really upset with Nintendo about, based on like complaints and videos that I heard, is that Nintendo back in the day used to be everything. It used to have violent games. It used to have games like Mortal Kombat, and used to have games like Ninja Gaiden, and all these great games, had Final Fantasy, had all this stuff. And slowly, as the console kept transforming into what seemed to be everybody's opinion a kiddie console, the kids weren't even attracted. So it's not even a kiddie console, it's a nostalgic console is what it is, where they sell to us gamers older. They're trying to market to kids and make it kid friendly, so that way that we as the adults, when we played Nintendo, we want to share that with our kids. We want our kids to raise Nintendo the way we were raised. So they go back, they put some virtual console stuff in there, and that's what they're trying to do. That's the message that they're trying to throw across. But a lot of people want games.
They're still trying not to tarnish the Nintendo name.
Yeah, but back then.
But seriously,
back then Nintendo was a violent game.
But they need to grow up, though. We have grown up with Nintendo over the years. Granted, you know, if we want our children to play Nintendo, you know, we can get them a 3DS or a 2DS, okay? We as adult gamers are allowed to have a console for us by Nintendo. So, you know, all this chat app stuff, again, you know, they need to really hone in and let us know what this is going to entail, how we're going to be able to use it, why you're charging us for online, and what is this online going to entail to warrant a fee. By Reggie saying, oh, well, you know, they feel that we've been pretty lenient with, no, you still did not. You danced around the question. He danced around a lot of those questions.
Yes, he did.
If you really want to, you know, talk about that, he danced around damn near every question in the freaking interview. So what was the point of, and my thinking is, what's the point of him even being there if he ain't gonna answer nothing? He didn't answer a damn thing. Yeah. So there was really no point.
Third party has always been there. It's just, you know, maybe certain third party games, you know, the Nintendo system didn't get. But hell, I remember the original Wii, which I still have, and I still have some M-rated games for the original Wii.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were M-rated games for the original Wii. It was just most gamers didn't care too much for the motion control, so they didn't buy games for it. They were looking for things for PS3 and 360. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the Wii, the original Wii had M-rated games. They had Dead Space. Like, I got Dead Space on the original Wii.
Yeah, they got Dead Space Extraction.
Yeah,
they got Mad World. They got No More Heroes. No More Heroes 2. You know, there was a lot of violent games on Wii, but at the same time, at that point, that was a completely different perspective. At that point, they were more upset because Nintendo didn't have the graphics or the online multiplayer that PS3 and Xbox 360 were portraying. And because of this, then people were like forcing the Wii U, okay, if you get a Call of Duty, you want to have a Call of Duty experience to be pretty much the same on every aspect. The Wii was a completely different experience. and a failed one at that. It wasn't that it enhanced the experience, it made it worse because the graphics didn't look up to par and the motion controls weren't responsive. So that's...
Well, I feel that's where people go wrong, is trying to compare a Nintendo product to a Microsoft or a Sony product. They are three different,
They are three things, with three different companies with different teams of people working on things. I feel like Microsoft excels in online multiplayer. I feel like Sony excels in making a lot of exclusives very quickly. And I feel that Nintendo is really good at their quality. When it comes to the quality of the games, the gameplay, the way that the gameplay feels, the constant updates, like no updates and things like that, like it's very rare on a Nintendo console. And I think the reason why they're keeping their console weaker is not because of the battery life issue or not because of the whole Switch aspect. It's because really there's no way that you can make the console graphics any higher. You can make them look nicer, but you can't make them get any higher. So at this point, we've already reached a point in video games where we really can't advance any further except for virtual reality, which is why they keep pushing that. And if the Switch is rumored to be true, you can easily turn that screen into a headset. They'll just buy the headset attachment, you clamp that on, you already have the virtual reality, and plus with the controllers, you have controllers that have haptic feedback, which is good.
And it'll be cheaper.
And it'll be cheaper. So in a way, Nintendo is future-proofing. It seems expensive now. Everything seems expensive now. But once the Switch starts to give itself its identity, once it has a bunch of games in its disposal, it's actually going to be... you're going to realize, dang, I didn't really have to spend that much money then. You know, it looks like a lot at first, but at the end of the day, it's really not that much.
Yeah.
Like Sony literally is copycatted every single thing that Nintendo has done with the Wii motion controllers, the joystick, the freaking, they work together. You know, Nintendo and Sony were friends. If only Nintendo did not mess that up. If Nintendo did not mess that up, could you imagine how much greater Nintendo would have been if they actually stood with Sony? Nintendo would have God of War, Uncharted, all those other games, plus Mario, plus everything. Everything would have been theirs. Nintendo would have all the exclusives, and Nintendo would be like where it was in the 80s, ahead, the top of the game. Because, and you know, I wish Nintendo didn't screw them over. I really wish that they didn't. And I feel like, because, you know, Sony has a lot of great things about it, and Nintendo has a lot of great things about it. Xbox is missing the exclusives, but it has some good things about it that people like. Me personally, I think that I felt like Xbox, I felt robbed, to be honest. I feel robbed with my Xbox One because I was promised these exclusives that are getting canceled now, or that they're not exclusives anymore. So in a way, I feel like I wasted my money on the Xbox One. But and this is just, that's, like I said, that's my personal opinion. Your experience may differ, may be different. But for me, everything I was promised was absolutely not happening. And I understand that not everybody's going to keep their promises on their consoles. You know, it's all words until actions are shown. And I want Nintendo to be successful. And I feel like it's going to be successful. It may take a while. I honestly think that it would be like maybe a year and a half before things start to really get rolling. But I feel once Nintendo says Pokemon and Metroid, people are going to get on board. They will jump on it, and we will start hearing the hate.
People been.
Oh yeah, everybody wants Mother 2. You know, everybody wants Mother 3. But at the same time, like, I don't think that that's a console seller. The majority of people who want Mother 3 are people who are getting Switch day one, which is the hardcore Nintendo fans. Not a lot of people know what Earthbound is, you know, or a lot of people have never played Earthbound or, you know, Earthbound Beginnings or anything like that. So Earthbound 3 or Mother 3, people have been asking for it, but it's not a huge market, which is why they felt like it wasn't worth, you know, porting over here.
I think about this. this E3, I'm just gonna put it out there. I believe Nintendo is going to announce a Metroid game.
Yep.
I don't know who's working on it, but it's going to be a Metroid game.
Well, if that's the case, you know it's gonna be a nice collector's edition that they gonna have out.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a F-Zero. They're going to announce that, and I think we're finally going to know what the hell Retro Studio, what new IP they working on. I think we're finally going to get to hear what they are actually working on, because we keep hearing that they're supposed to be working on a new IP, and that Nintendo gave Metroid to another company. Now, who that company is, we don't know. It could still be, Retro, but I think we got one coming next year. A Metroid. It'd probably be early next year.
I think so. I agree. I agree that there's going to be a new one, because the last Metroid they gave to Ninja Theory, and Ninja Theory, the Metroid Other M.
Yeah.
So then Retro.
To me, I got the game. The game wasn't that bad.
Yeah, the game was not bad at all. I thought it was great. I don't understand why people are complaining.
It was a lot of action, you know what I'm saying, flipping, and it was like a what did you call it? A 2D.3 or whatever.
Yeah, it was a 2.5.
2.5. It was nice. Now the voice acting, on the other hand,
that was horrific.
But the gameplay was pretty cool. I didn't have a problem with it.
No, I didn't. But I guess that it was just straying away from the point of what made Metroid great. Because the thing is that, look, people say if something is not broken, don't fix it. But what Nintendo is doing is just trying to change the game, And though, people are saying, what if Nintendo just went the simple route? What if they just gave you a controller, maybe with just basic vibration functions, and a promise of all these third-party games that is already, and that everything is industry standard? Like, literally, they can match. They charge for their online. They give you free games every month. Nintendo could kill at that. If they just made a regular console, people wouldn't have bought it. Because people wait for the innovation. They're like, oh, well, I got a PlayStation, I got an Xbox for that. Why would I want to get a Nintendo? That's where the problem is. And that's why Nintendo is so different. Because sometimes when they're different, they do sell a lot. And this being a console handheld experience, if the third party stays with Nintendo, more people would want to get a Switch and get the game. For me, any third-party game that comes out now, and the Switch has it, I'm gonna get on Switch. You want to know why? Because it's portable and it can be played on the TV. I can't do that with PlayStation, and I can't do that with Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that portable experience. So whenever I go to,
you can to a certain extent on Xbox, because keep in mind,
laptop and then Vita for PlayStation. Yeah, and then Vita for PlayStation, but it's not like. Well, I don't know. I never test the Xbox One. But then again, Xbox has no exclusives that I want. Nintendo does. And so for me, Nintendo has that, they sold me. That presentation sold me. It sold me. Yes, it left me with more questions. Like, why would you mention the online and then not answer? Like that. I don't understand why they did that. I don't understand. They say, oh, well, you're going to have to pay for online, by the way. But,
check out this HD Rumble.
Check out this HD Rumble. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. No. Wait, go back to the online thing. Why are we paying for this? But, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing that bothered me. The rest of the presentation was great. Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more games, to come out for launch, but once again, this is a launch. Nintendo said that they're not competing with Xbox or PlayStation. But people keep thinking that that's exactly what they're doing. No, they're not. They're not competing with that. They're in their own market. And even though they like it or not, yes, they're still technically competing. They are. because people see them as competing with the other people. No, Nintendo's doing something that's really, really cool. I mean, it's not a unique idea because this has technically been done before, but to play the next Pokemon game, games that were on the handheld that could have never been played on the TV before are going to be played on the TV. Things that were on TV that could never be played on handhelds can be played in handhelds. And that blows my mind. Like the idea, the concept, when I heard the concept when it was still the NX, and I've said this before, that blew my mind. The fact that you could possibly take a controller with you that's playing the game, you put it on a dock, and it displays on your TV. It blew my mind because the first thing I thought of was Pokemon. How badly I wanted to play one of those 3DS Pokemon games on my TV. But the fact that I could still play it on the go.
At some point in time or another.
Yeah, but once Pokemon comes, that's when that console is selling. You know it. That thing is gonna fly off shelves. If it's like a Pokemon adventure game like Sun and Moon or something like that, that is going to like, oh my god. Like the casuals will get it then. That's when because casuals love Pokemon. Yokai Watch, if people are into Yokai Watch, there it is. If there's any like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, that could be played on the go or at home. That is freaking crazy. The next Monster Hunter, could you imagine? Monster Hunter.
What's that other big 3DS game a lot of people play, that Ace Wright Attorney or something like that?
Yeah, Ace Wright Attorney. Then they can make like instead of a new Mario Kart, I mean, not a new Mario Kart, instead of a new Mario Maker, they can make a Zelda Maker. They could, like, there's just so many possibilities because of how many control options the Switch has. And that's freaking crazy. There's so much potential, and people are not focusing on the potential. And I understand that potential, that's all it is. It's potential. It doesn't mean that it's concrete. It doesn't mean that it's whatever you think is going to happen. But the potential is there. That there's so many options. There's so many ways you can play a game. That means what that beginning trailer told me, that the virtual console is going to be the biggest virtual console in the console's history. And the fact that you could play that both on your TV and on the go without the need of having to buy it on your 3DS and buy it on your Wii U, but the fact that it's all unified on one system, that is freaking fantastic. You can get Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games, probably Virtual Boy games eventually, GameCube games, Wii games. Everything is playable. Everything is playable.
Did they mention like the original Wii, bringing back like the Genesis, the TurboGrafx, the Neo Geo games? Because I would love to get my hands back on some of those games.
That would be cool too. They didn't mention anything about Virtual Console, but Reggie said that they're gonna mention that at a later time. But just the fact that you could play something like Mario Sunshine on the go blows my mind. I mean, like, oh my god! Like, everything.
I've got a couple comments. Miss K said 2K18 on the go. Yeah, I'm digging it. Mm-hmm. Zach said Gearbox came out saying that there will be no Borderlands 3 for the Switch. He read it on Twitter. And then Miss K said it's truly a hybrid. Talking about the Switch.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't bring Borderlands 3, because the Borderlands games are not graphical power. It's cell shaded graphics. Mm-hmm. I would figure I would put it on damn near anything, especially you want to make money. I mean, how much do Borderlands sell between the Xbox and PlayStation? What, like a couple of million? If that?
I honestly don't know like how popular Borderlands is. This doesn't really affect me because I don't play Borderlands, but I understand that Borderlands would have been a perfect game to put on the system, and it just baffles my mind why they didn't, because like you said, it is cell shaded. It is. I feel like that game could be put on an iPad and a freaking tablet. Like, it could be played that way.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why the Switch can't handle it. Maybe they don't have a deal or something like that. Maybe, and then people are also saying like, well, if the Switch said that Mass Effect Andromeda was going to be on it, and that the new Grand Theft Auto and or Red Dead Redemption was going to be on the console, the Switch would have sold. And I say, you know what? At the same time, no, it wouldn't, because to you, to those people, though, that it would be graphically inferior. And that I know that Sony would say, oh, that there's going to be mod support. Xbox will say there'll be mod support, but the Switch won't have mod support. And because of that, people are going to be like, ooh, do I care more about mods and playing in a 4K resolution, or do I care about playing Grand Theft Auto everywhere I go? So it's going to be like a dilemma. But at this point, I don't know why this would have been a perfect game to play with friends. Like, I could be like, yo, while we're waiting in line for the next amiibo or the next Nintendo, the SNES Classic, we could be waiting in line, and we could be waiting in line, and everybody has all their Switches laying down in front of them, and then they're all playing games together. That's so cool. But Borderlands would have been one of those great games. Why wasn't it on there is beyond me. Hopefully that's just temporary. Maybe it's just not a finalized contract. I don't know what it is. But maybe Gearbox just hates Nintendo. I don't know. I know that Nintendo and Rockstar have a history with each other and that they don't like each other at all. But
yeah, I mean, it could come later down the pipeline. But if it's going to come down the pipeline, don't have it too long, because that's how you shoot yourself in the foot. And here's perfect examples from the Wii U. And when I got the Wii U, I was buying third-party games. I was like, I'm gonna build my collection up. I got enough for the PS3 and 360. I got tons of games. Let me start building up the Wii U collection. Okay, here's how you shot yourself in the foot and your head, EA. You launched Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. Now, a person like me, that if I hadn't owned the PS3 or the 360, would have never played 1 and 2. So how, as a Nintendo fan that really didn't own the other consoles, how would they get into the story? So basically, you telling me, we're not going to give you the beginning and the middle of the story. Nigga, go straight to the end. That didn't make any sense. And then came out a month later and said, hey, guess what? Even though the PS3 and 360 has 1, 2, and 3, we're putting out a trilogy that has 1, 2, and 3. Why didn't you do that for the Wii U? Like, that made no sense. And then they said, well...
It's like basically some of these companies set the Wii U up for failure.
Yes. They did. EA did that. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, if you knew a trilogy was coming out a month later for the other two consoles, why didn't you just announce and say, hey, there's going to be a trilogy for the Wii U of Mass Effect, so you can have, so the Nintendo fans that didn't play Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, now you have a chance, and you can get the full story. How you going to get somebody to the end of the story? Like, that was so stupid. You know what I'm saying? I brought it on the Wii U because I played the other two, so I knew what the story was about. But I'm like, how stupid can you be? Like, why would you do that? Put Mass Effect 3 out and then almost a month later announce that there's a trilogy coming out for the PS3 and 360, but then again, you still skip the Wii U with the trilogy. It just didn't make sense. And that's why I said that that's how you shoot yourself in the foot. And then you come back and say, well, we're really not putting too many games on the Wii U because they say, well, Mass Effect 3 didn't sell well. Of course, I don't know the story. Throw a trilogy at me with the ending chapter and then say, hey, y'all didn't buy it, so we're not going to put the rest of these games on the Wii U. We're going to be selective of what we put on there.
Miss K said, I remember that, Dirty.
And EA did that because they did not want to develop for the Wii U. That's why they did that. Then you had like other certain games like Sniper Elite 2. Why would you take the multiplayer out? There was no... You didn't even have to take the multiplayer. All you had to do was just port the game over. That's all you had to do. You port the story mode over, but you say, you know what? Even though they got online, let's leave it out. And then nobody bought it because people want to play it online as well. That's just like the Black Ops 2 and Ghost on the Wii U. It's just like Activision said, hey, y'all getting Black Ops 2 and Ghost, but guess what? Ain't gonna be no multiplayer. It's gonna be the story mode. You like what? That's the main purpose of Call of Duty is the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it out and then get mad when it don't sell. Well, we're not going to put any more. We're not going to give you any DLC or put the next Call of Duty on the Wii U because you guys didn't buy the last two because it didn't have multiplayer. It was just a story. You see how they just shoot themselves in the foot and then get mad when we don't buy it.
It's almost as if they basically blackballed, the system.
Yeah.
I hope that don't happen with the Switch. Miss K said that was dumb. Wasn't nobody on multiplayer on Sniper Elite anyway. LOL.
Well, you could have had a few people on the Wii U. Like I put in Black Ops last week, Black Ops 2 for the Wii U, and there was close to 2,000 people still on playing that game.
That's cool.
And there's no freaking maps. it's just the regular maps that came with it.
Zach said, "Is there going to be a new Call of Duty on Switch?" God, I hope not, Zach. God.
You know what? I want it to be there because
Will,
what?
You ain't gonna play it.
Lynn,
I'm not saying it for me. I'm saying it for other people who want a Call of Duty experience on the go.
Well, I guess it makes sense, but I don't know. I guess it'd be a new way to play because you don't have to sit there and hold your hand in a controller fashion. You can take the Joy-Cons off and have one hand up here, one hand down here. You can have your hands up.
Yeah, they did. Activision is going to put it on the Switch. I'm just surprised. I'm surprised and kind of happy they didn't say anything now. Like, hey, we're going to put Infinite Warfare on the Switch.
That might be an E3 thing.
Yeah, but to me, I would tell Activision just wait. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to wait to E3 to announce the latest one y'all just put out back in October, then I think the Switch fans can wait until October to get the new Call of Duty. It ain't nothing but like 6 months away after E3. No, it was less than about 5 months away after E3. We can wait on the new one instead of giving us this old one, 6-7 months, later. So yeah, Activision, just wait and put the newest one on the Switch come October when y'all release the new one. Don't put this old one on there because you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Nobody's not too many people is gonna buy it because everybody's gonna be waiting on Splatoon, Mario Kart. Don't put it in there when you know that most of the Switches that has been purchased is diehard Nintendo fans.
Oh, I've already pre-ordered them 2 games, definitely.
Right. So don't try to mix it in with Splatoon and Mario Kart because you're gonna lose. Just wait until this October for the new Call of Duty, whatever's going to be called, and then announce it and have it on the Switch, and it'll get sales.
Miss K said Modern Warfare 4 on the Switch. Now that would be dope.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
You know what else would be really cool? The Kingdom Hearts collection on the.
That
would be so cool if they actually did that, where you had every Kingdom Hearts game, like the 2.8, 1.5. Even though if we get it even later, I would buy it again just to have it on the Switch.
They should put it all in one volume.
They should, but I don't think it would all fit in the cartridge.
Well, then they could give us multiple cartridges in one disc.
That's what I think what would happen. But it would be cool, even if they just give us the game aspects and they just take out the movies things. That would be cool. I just want the games. And then to have that as a portable experience. Kingdom Hearts as a portable experience. Oh my god.
Zach said new Need for Speed for Switch would be cool.
That would be cool too. Yeah, that would be really cool.
This is what I got with EA and Need for Speed. Need for Speed to me has went down each year it came out. I had fun with one of them. I forgot the one he was racing from whatever to New York or something. That one was okay. But the rest, what EA need to do is surprise us and go back to Need for Speed Underground. That's what people want. We want the Underground series. If if you just remastered the Underground, it'll sell. But if you just do a new one, Underground 3, because they stopped at 2, that will sell. I miss the Underground series. Those were
Need for Speed Nitro.
Oh, I have one. Miss, this one's for Miss K. Okay, I want Miss K's thoughts on this one. Okay, Battlefield on the Switch.
I think that would work.
That could work, and it being
that could actually work. And I would actually get it for the Switch too.
I would get it for the Switch too because I feel like that's cool. That's something that you could play with people on the go. It could be
Miss K, capital letters. OMG!
I can already imagine how she did it.
She said, "I fainted."
I can imagine what she would say. Oh my God!
That's funny.
No, but
so okay, since we're on this topic, basically of speaking about games we would like to see on the Switch. Will Dirty had mentioned some that about maybe what he would like to see at E3. So, do you have any E3 predictions of what could possibly be on the Switch?
I believe we will see a new Metroid. F-Zero, I'm still on the fence about. I'm not entirely sure. I believe that we are actually going to possibly get a Kid Icarus game. Yeah. And for some reason, I believe Retro is working on it. I could be wrong. We're going to see Super Smash Brothers, and we're probably going to get a new 2 characters. We were going to get the Bayonetta, the Corrin, and the Cloud Amiibo, plus the new characters, probably Ice Climbers and everything else. I also believe that they're going to add the 3DS, since this is now a hybrid system, they're going to add the 3DS levels in HD in the new version. But that's probably wishful thinking and not going to happen. But still, that's just a guess. As far as other games go, we're going to learn more about Super Mario Odyssey. We're going to learn more about Virtual Console, and I believe that they're going to put some exciting titles like Super Smash Bros. Melee. They're going to put Super Smash Bros. Melee and a few other things. They're going to say that the Wii U GameCube attachment works on the Switch, so you can play Smash Brothers with the old controller. I believe that they're going to also have a bunch of games that are going to come out in the middle, of the year. I feel like the ending game is going to be Pokemon.
Miss K,
I don't know why.
Bayonetta 3 maybe in 2018.
Yeah, they also talking about there possibly may be a Bayonetta 3 because they I think Platinum is actually working on 2 unknown titles for the Switch, and they thinking one of them is Bayonetta 3. And the other one be
They said a new Kirby game.
I hope a new Kirby game. That would be cool. From Sora. That would be cool. But at the same time, the reason why I feel like it's not actually it could happen, but I just feel like the timing isn't right for Kirby yet. I would like a new Kirby game. I think that they could also be working on a Yoshi game. Donkey Kong, I don't see Donkey Kong. Unless if that's what Retro is working on, I don't see Donkey Kong.
What you mean, no?
I don't know.
They keep saying that Retro is working on some type of new game or new IP. It can't be Donkey Kong. I don't hate Donkey Kong. Trust me, I love Tropical Freeze. It's challenging. But right now, Nintendo needs to get as much new games, new IPs exclusive to this Switch for right now. Donkey Kong come next year, down the pipeline, I don't mind. But this year, letting us know what your studios are working on. They got to be working on something, either a new IP or bringing out something that didn't come to the Wii U that we wanted. That's how Nintendo is going to get people to, get into the Switch. Buy it as, if not a first-dairy console, a secondary console, a backup console. That's what Nintendo got to do. They have to bring out they new IPs and new IPs and they old ones. You know what I'm saying? Give rebirth to, like Jack said, Kirby. I would love to see a Kirby on there. Especially the ones from the 3DS. I would love a Rave Race. If they can give me a Rave Race.
Oh yes.
Now that's a game Jason keep hollering about.
No, I would love it. Or Endless Ocean 3 would be really cool. Or I think we're gonna see a Pikmin game.
Yeah,
I believe so. I think we're gonna get Pikmin 4. And they're probably gonna show some 3DS games and stuff to show that they're not completely destroying it. I believe that we're gonna learn more about Fire Emblem Heroes. We're gonna see we're gonna see like character reveals and things like that. I believe also, but I'm gonna throw this question at you guys, or not this question, but how would you guys feel if Nintendo pulls a Zelda Breath of the Wild E3 and just does it for Metroid and shows a multiplayer aspect of it?
that'd be cool.
That would be.
Not like a blast ball thing, like a legitimate like first person shooter game with Metroid.
Yeah, with the blaster and picking up different
different items and stuff like that. So would you? But that's the only game they're showing. They're not showing anything else.
No, because to me, I would be kind of like, what the hell's going on? You know, okay, is you saying just from Nintendo or just all around? Period, no third party, just at Metroid.
Just at Metroid. Maybe they'll have some third party support. Like they'll tell you, like, oh, this is coming, this is coming. A lot of indie support. That's coming. That's coming. But in terms of the showcase that Nintendo will only show at like their Direct or their Treehouse for the E3. Will only be Metroid.
Well, that's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Exactly, and you know what? Like people are gonna say, "Yo, I love this new Metroid," but what else is gonna come out between E3 and Mario?
Then you'll see videos titled, the Switch failed.
Switch failed. Switch is dead. Switch is dead. Rest in peace. Because it's like I won't be making the Switch. Things like that. I already know.
But a lot of people got to think too. Third party got to come in somewhere. They have to come in somewhere. Nintendo can't throw everything out this year. They got to save some stuff for next year. And, because they throw all the IPs out this year, what we got to look forward to.
Yeah.
We're going to have a year drought, and then they're going to come out.
No, we don't know. They supposedly remember they have 80-some games in the works already.
I know, but compared to the 800 that PlayStation got.
Okay, so we have another comment. Shout out to Cool C. Hey, Cool C.
Cool C.
Cool C said, I'm so glad you guys are discussing this. I got into so many arguments about these very same reasons why multi-plat sold poorly on the Wii U.
It's so there's a lot of reasons why it did. A lot of reasons is they said that the Wii U did have a lot of multi-plat support in the beginning, but they were really old ports that people didn't care about anymore. Like who wanted Assassin's Creed 3 when Assassin's Creed 4 was around the corner, and Assassin's Creed 3 already came out, and it was a poor experience on the Wii U. So why would anybody want that? So I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. I keep getting Assassin's Creed 4 and Assassin's Creed 3 mixed up. But they said that the reason there was, from what I heard, and I could be wrong, but what I heard is that they said that the reason why there's so little IPs for the Nintendo Switch is because they want to prove that those games can sell. So they figured that the less games there are, the more people would actually want to buy. So like you're more likely to get Just Dance 2017 because that's another game that's not Zelda Breath of the Wild. You're more inclined to get Bomberman. Like if you got okay, you would be okay. So let's say that you got Zelda, but when in purchase day you get a little buyer, you get like buyer like trigger fingers, like you just want more than just Zelda. So you're gonna probably be inclined to get Bomberman, or you'll be inclined to get a game that may not be so great, just so you have a backup game in case if you get tired of Zelda or something like that, or you need like a little break.
I'm not paying $50 for Bomberman.
But no, I'm not saying that just I'm not saying just you. Like I'm just saying that there will be people that would be interested in getting more than that game. But I don't know. I'm very excited.
Cool C said these third parties did conspire against the Wii U, in my opinion. Yeah,
they did.
Way.
I think it was a statement too, just to say that this console is not going to work, and we're going to show you that it's not going to work. And so, like, look at.
And you know what? I can vouch for that because I was going to pick up NBA 2K13 for it, and when the demo came out, I downloaded the demo. I was like, okay, let me see how the game is. If it's like the 360, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to the store and get it. Man, I was so damn disappointed with NBA 2K13. They had no clothes physics. It's like they jerseys had too much starch in it. It was just stiff. Like, how they moving? Oh, are you serious, 2K? That's why they 2K better not mess up 2K18 on the Switch. I'm telling you, it better be the same.
No, they advertise that in their commercial. I don't think they're gonna mess it up. I don't think it's gonna be a mess up.
Yeah, that was messed up how they did 2K13. I was like, yeah, I stay with the 360 version. I can see clothes and sweat moving.
Would you be okay? Would you be okay if it's that version, like the sweat and the movement clothes, if it was docked, but when you undock it, that it's gonna be the stiffness, but it's still the same gameplay? Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, I would be okay with it because I won't be taking I'm not going to be taking the Switch, really anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Because 99.9%, I drive, wherever I go, so I won't be able to play it. Second, if I do take it anywhere, it'll probably be down to my brother's house, so my nephews could check it out, you know what I'm saying? That'll be about it. Anywhere else, to the park, to the zoo, it's staying right in the dock.
True. And you know what? Another thing that I like about the Switch as well is that most likely you're going to be able to play using the Pro Controller while it's on tabletop mode. So you don't even have to use the Joy-Con grips. And what I heard also is that the battery lasts longer than the Wii U's Pro Controller. And already, if you guys don't know, the Wii U Pro Controller's battery lasts 80 hours.
Yes, I love that about the Wii U.
Yeah. So
and they said that they said the HD Rumble is featured in the Pro Controller as well.
Which is interesting because I'm really curious to see how I want to know if HD Rumble is going to work for every game because they didn't specify if it was or if it wasn't. At least not that I heard of. Like, could you imagine like Mario Kart, like what that would feel like if you. Like what a haptic feedback would feel like if you got hit by a shell. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
I'm really there's possibilities that they could do with it. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild, whenever you shoot an arrow, you actually like feel like the string. Because they also said, I hope I'm quoting this right, but I swore that they said that you could use motion controls like you would like on the Wii. So if you prefer to play Zelda motion control ways, you can play it with the Joy-Cons that way. Which is cool. Which is cool. So you can also so if you want to play, that's what I love about this console is that it has so many ways to play it. And the fact that Nintendo is giving you a choice and they're not forcing something upon you is a great thing.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. Like already you have two controllers built into it. Yeah, they may be small. And if you guys want to get a good well, I haven't tested it out myself. Like I haven't touched the Switch. But if you guys want to test it out, literally just hold your 3DS sideways and just touch the buttons and just put your fingers on it. And I feel like that's how big the Switch, the Joy-Con is. It's like one side of your 3DS controller. I believe that's exactly the same size as it is. Maybe it's a little bit longer, but at the same point. And that feels comfortable to me. Now,
Will, when you was, I know you was having trouble and we couldn't hear you. But me and Lynn was talking about. I had brought this to Lynn, and I'm gonna see what you think about it. I had asked Lynn. I said, when you seen the Just Dance, did the women have the Joy-Cons in their hand? And she said they only had one. So what I was thinking was, okay. One Joy-Con you can scan the amiibos with. The other Joy-Con has that camera underneath.
Yeah.
I was thinking that you lay that camera down and it picks up your movement, just like he showed in the demonstration how it picks up your movement. Because they're saying it's using the same, I think the same technology of the Connect 2.0 for the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking for it to pick up your movement, your whole body movement, and how you're supposed to be moving, you have to lay that second one down, because she said they only had one apiece. So each one of them had, they say they write Joy-Con laying down on the table, facing directly to them while they was dancing, playing 2-player.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I'm thinking, because with the Wii, I always thought, with the Wii, I'm like, how do we know that you're actually doing the move? It doesn't. It
I was thinking of
it just know that you're moving your arms. That's all it does. It just know that you're moving your arm. It don't know if you crossing your legs or, you know what I'm saying, or doing a Tootsie Roll. It just know that your wrist is moving. So the Joy-Con can actually see you, like the Kinect actually doing the correct moves. And if it's that way, that's fucking awesome.
That's very amazing, to be honest. And but you know what also makes me excited too? That you could play Just Dance at a park if you really wanted to. Like on a handheld mode, you could dock it, put the one controller there, and then just dance, and just, that's cool. I like that. But like, you know what? That actually makes sense of why the camera is there, is because it could be used as like a motion sensor bar, kind of like that. Because it says it could read your hands if you do rock, paper, scissors, how far or how close you are. So I feel like that's the way it works. I thought they had both controllers in their hands, but I guess it was only one. But yeah, that's exciting.
Well,
I like it.
Cool C made a comment. He said, if Retro Studios is working on a new Donkey Kong, he said, I'll switch. LOL.
If they working on a new Donkey Kong, I'm fine with it, but I don't want it to be, that next game that's coming out from them. I want to see something different or a new IP. Now, after they finish showing us that and it come out and they want to work on another Donkey Kong, I have no problem. I have no problem at all. But right now, I think Nintendo needs to jump on those new IPs or the old ones that we've been looking for. Even though we got Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, and it's a good ass game, challenging game at that. I still think we need something more than just Donkey Kong right now.
Will Cool C made a comment to your comment. He said, no, Nintendo needs to show more than Metroid this E3. I love Metroid, but that wouldn't be acceptable.
No, it would not be acceptable. I agree. I'm just saying that, like, that would be upsetting if they pulled a Breath of the Wild like they did last year, where like Metroid could be like freaking amazing and mind blowing. But if you're telling me that game's gonna come out in 2018, that's just really gonna hurt. Like, I'm like, oh wow, so I gotta wait till 2018 to play this? This is ridiculous. But you know what? Like, there's, like I said, the Switch has everything that I want. And it has so much potential, more potential than I've ever saw in the Wii. I'm like, wait a minute. When I looked at the Wii U, like, the Switch is what the Wii U should have been.
Yep, just like
that's exactly what it should have been. And I felt like
it was supposed to have been what the original PlayStation was, and Xbox S should have been what the original Xbox One should have been,
Exactly.
But at least we got 5 years out of the Wii U. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We started going into droughts, but we did get 5 years. We started hearing about those two consoles like 2 years going within their lifespan. I'm like, wait a minute, 2 years? You telling me it's an upgrade now?
Yeah. I'm just so excited, though, that I'm so excited for this console. I hope I get it day one, because they better not cancel it. Better not cancel my pre-order, because I'm going to be so upset, because I already got the standard edition. The special edition of Zelda. And I got that trailer made me cry when I saw it, because, oh God, that Zelda Breath of the Wild trailer was like everything I wanted it to be.
Zelda, she looked like she lost everything in there when she cried and fell in his arms. I'm like, damn, she lost everything. Her family.
Like, when she cried, I was like, damn, like that, like, because the music is so epic, and then next thing you know, you see Zelda cry. I'm like, but why is she crying? I got like, what happened? And then you hear like the king say, please save my daughter. I'm like, oh my god. And then you see like there's like these Shadow of the Colossus kind of creatures. It's like this game is Shadow of the Colossus, Skyrim mixed with a bunch with Zelda, mixed with a bunch of other games I can't even think. And the fact that you get to put other clothes besides the green tunic is amazing. And the fact that all the races that are back, like the Gorons, the Rudo, the Great Fairy, the Gorons. I'm like, I'm so
So basically, everybody has a voice except Link, right? They didn't give Link a voice.
Yeah, they didn't give Link. Well, no, because it makes sense. I don't want Link to talk. I don't want Link to talk because I feel like that would ruin his character.
Yeah, because he really don't talk in the other games because they mostly talk to you. He just go. You're
like,
yeah, but I mean that's cool. You get to hear the other characters, talk because some of them be talking for a long ass time, man. I'll be like, dude, would you stop with all this text messages, man, and let me play the game?
I know, right? You just want to get into it, but sometimes you're too lazy to read. You don't want to read. You just want to play. Yeah. But it's good. I mean, I can bear listening to something, but just not bear just sitting there and reading it.
That's Nintendo style. So guys, remember basic reading skills.
Okay.
Basic reading skills required to play Nintendo games, though it's a quote-unquote kiddie console.
That's why people hate Nintendo, because they got to read.
Probably. That's probably it. Like, they're like, oh, Nintendo's so behind. Nintendo's so behind. I don't know. Nintendo. To be honest, it's like Nintendo is behind, but in a way, they're like 10 times ahead of their competition. Because their competition doesn't do anything like this. Like, they don't do...
This kid said disclaimer, LOL.
Disclaimer. Disclaimer. If you're purchasing this Wii U game, basic reading skills are required. You know what? Once I get my Zelda game, that's the first thing I'm going to be looking for in the box is to see if it says it.
It'll be back here.
I want to know. I want to know because the boxes are going to be smaller. They're like... The boxes are going to be...
They look like they're the size of the PSP? The PSP?
Games, yeah. I think it's a little bit bigger than that, though. I think it's a little bigger.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah. I'm excited. I cannot wait to do an unboxing video on it. I cannot wait to live stream it. I cannot wait! Oh, my God! To play Zelda. I'm so excited. I'm so happy.
Okay, so do anybody have anything else they want to add in reference to the Switch, predictions, games you want to see, games you're excited for, the naysayers, anything of that nature?
No.
Nah, I just say don't let anybody discourage you from what you think you're gonna enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's your money. Buy what you want to buy. Because if you know you're going to enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. Forget what all these other people, are talking about. Because at the end of the day, you don't even know these people. You never met them in your life. And who cares what they think at the end of the day? Because half of them at the end of the day, they're going to buy a Switch and they ain't going to tell you. So I look at it like that. Because when a YouTuber can tell you that he brought the collector's edition of... Xenoblade for the Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U, and he said, "Oh, my friend's gonna let me borrow his Wii U so I can play this game." I know you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Who buys a collector's edition that's over $100 just to play on their friend's Wii U?
It makes no sense.
This case said my man's 30, and half of them I don't want to meet. LOL.
Just remember this. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Yeah!
Always on the Nintendo and talking bad about Nintendo and the Wii U. They had one. They just didn't tell you, but they had one. But they friend gonna let them use their Wii U to play a collector's edition of Xenoblade Chronicle X. Yeah, okay. Who's the fool?
That's a fool. Now, you want to know what I think is kind of foolish in my opinion? Those who bought the collector's edition of the first Titanfall. I mean, that Titan statue is cool, but not for no $250.
Ooh.
Oh God,
it was $250. You got like a 30-inch statue or something like that of like a Titan, and you see like a pilot like on the leg or something, and it lights up and stuff. But they wanted $250 for that.
Now, $250, he better be remote control.
I don't know if it did have remote control. Maybe it did. I'm not sure, but yeah, I felt like Call of Duty had better stuff. Like Call of Duty at least came with like a remote control car or something. Yeah. But
at least Fallout 4 came with a refrigerator.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Something useful. Yeah. Oh my God.
You could put a 6-pack in it.
Yeah, that's nice. A 6-pack and keep it cool next to you. That's cool.
Okay, well, if no one else have anything to add and there's no questions down below in the comments section. Oh, Miss K said wait and get collector's editions on Amazon. That's how I got Battlefield 1 collector's edition. Yeah, Miss K told me about that, and I got one too. And I actually got it for like under 25, about 25 bucks. I think it was $25 on the nose. It's the collector's edition without the game. So basically, you get everything in the collector's edition, even the steelbook case, but without the game.
You just put your copy in there, and there you go.
Yeah, so you get the statue and everything. So $25 for a statue, that to me is still a good price.
Yeah, add it up.
Because you get the lithograms and all that stuff, or whatever was included in the collector's edition, and it was $40-something, I think, a couple weeks ago or last week. It's $25 now. That's with tax.
Yeah.
And if you're Amazon Prime member, of course, you get free shipping.
Oh, okay.
So Miss K said $23 and some change, and so yeah. But yeah, you know that's actually cool that they do that. So.
Yep.
But okay, I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and end the podcast. I think it was a pretty decent podcast. We got a lot of things out, and I'm sure there's a few things that we had mentioned in prior podcasts about the Switch, but you know, there's some things we hadn't mentioned either. So
yeah.
Thanks, Miss K. She said, "Great podcast, fam. Enjoyed it."
All right, Miss K. Miss K. Love
you. And on that note, we'll go ahead and end the podcast here. I will say that I will put, well, there's already links below in the description to everyone here on the panel. Be sure to follow these guys. These guys have great content on their channel. As far as Will is concerned, follow him on twitch.tv as TheWillOfGaming. So be sure to do that. And yeah, on that note, we'll go ahead and do our outros. And while you're here, if you are not currently a subscriber to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos coming here in the near future. We're going to go ahead and have Mr. Will of Gaming. Let people know who you are and where they can find you, Will.
Hello, Internet. I'm Will from The Will of Gaming. And I do have a YouTube channel, but I kind of gave up YouTube to do Twitch. So if you guys want to see more about me, be sure to check twitch.tv/TheWillOfGaming, all one word. And be sure to follow and join the friendship. I don't know. I'm coming up with a name. I'm deciding between fellowship and friendship. So if you guys want to see me play new games, I'm currently playing Zelda Majora's Mask now. And I don't know. I think Kingdom Hearts will be the next game that I play. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to follow me.
I'm interested in Kingdom Hearts.
Yep. I'm gonna play it.
Okay, and last but not least, we have the old Dirty 33. Let people know who you are, where they can find you, Dirty.
What's up, people? This is your boy Dirty. You can catch me at my channel, the old Dirty 33. I'm starting to put up, back to putting up more videos now. Just stuff that's on my mind. gaming communities, gaming in itself. You know, it may be a couple of rants, you know, here and there, but it's just what I feel and the stupid things that the community is doing. And you know, I'm getting tired of it. I've been in the community for so many years, and it seemed like it's just going downhill. So, but yeah, that's it. I'm just ready for the Switch because I made that Switch, bitch.
Switch, bitch. Be sure to follow me. Wait, be sure to make the switch and follow me on Twitch, bitch. No, I don't know. That works. It works. It all right.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, I guess we are out.
Ow.
Meow.